Hello and welcome to this special Diwali show. I'm Prashant Nair, with me is my colleague Sonia Shenoy. And as we get into the new Samvat, we are sitting down with perhaps India's best known investor, most respected investor, and one of the largest by a mile. We're sitting down with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who needs absolutely no introduction. Rakesh, it's a pleasure. Great to have you with us here.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start with the markets, of course.
First of all, let me wish all the viewers and all Indians very happy Diwali and prosperous New Year. One without COVID finally is behind us.
I was just thinking about that, I think 2 years back we were here in your house interviewing you during Diwali, and it's such a relief to once again be able to sit face to face and talk.
Absolutely.
And such a great year it's been for investors.
Absolutely.
Rakesh,
not only investors, personally in life also.
Yeah.
Staying at home was it's pain.
Unbearable.
Unbearable, actually. Yeah.
Where are we in the market cycle, Rakesh? We've been in an up and up, steady bull market. Is the environment for the steady uptrend intact, in your opinion?
Very, 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 very much. People are getting alarmed. At the bottom of the height of the COVID in March 2020, the index had gone from 11,500 to 7,500. Now the index is 16,775. It's 17,700, I think. Running a race from 7,050, I don't know, to where, to 40,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, you got to pause. Nothing is linear in life. I feel it's healthy. And also, because of the pace of the rise, there might have been too much excitement, so the excitement has got corrected. So I am as bullish as I ever was.
But the thing is, Rakesh, that in this pandemic, there are a lot of new investors, young investors that have entered the market who have perhaps not really seen a big bear market or a big correction, because we haven't had any in the last 1.5 years. What is your advice to those investors?
Time will teach them. Who am I to advise them? Time is the biggest teacher. And see, there estimate 90 crore adult Indians in India. The portion of savings is going up. The portion of financial savings in savings is going up. So naturally, what is the outlet to invest? People say 4 crore demat accounts have been opened. What about the balance 80 crores? When are they coming? A glass is half empty and a glass half full. And don't worry, bull markets go up on a wall of worry. As long as there's worry, they will keep going.
As they say, new investors learn old lessons all the time. But is there a lesson coming, Rakesh, in your opinion? Or
I don't think. See, today the index is made a top around 18,600. I don't think the index is going to go below 16,500, 17,000.
Okay.
Oh, it won't go below that. Okay.
Maybe 16,500, 16,800. It won't correct, in my opinion, more than 10% of its value.
The big worry, though, has been inflation. Here in India as well.
Well, India inflation last month was 4.4%.
I'm talking about, across companies, across sectors that we speak with. The first question is, or rather the first answer is, we are taking price increases, more is coming across sectors.
See, the main problem is, little this is because of weather-related conditions in Europe and America, and also because the Chinese supply chain is getting disrupted. It will correct itself with time. Already container rates have come down like anything. So these are not some permanent phenomena. They have been created by circumstances. They will correct itself.
I think also what Prashant is trying to get at is, at a time when inflation is hitting a lot of earnings, will this be a protracted phase perhaps of
I don't think
earnings
so.
pressure?
The cost increases. You look at Asian Paints. Asian Paints has had not a very good quarter because the input prices have gone up. But he's going to pass on the input prices.
Which he did.
So I'm not going to look at Asian Paint, this quarter is not good, so I should sell Asian Paint. I'm looking at, as a long-term investor, I'm looking at Asian Paint, what's going to happen over 5 years.
Absolutely.
Do you think all these price increases will at the margin affect demand at all, or not really?
See, it's not that it's some runaway inflation. Instead of 4, it could be 6. It's not like 20% and 40%, which we've had in earlier years in many countries. And I, for one, feel that inflation in America and the developed world is not going to come. Because the reasons are not going to sustain. For 3 reasons. First reason is because of technology. you're able to produce goods at a low price. Second thing is, in demographics, if you don't have people to eat, the demand naturally goes down. Then people are extending the retirement age. In America, already people are working up to 70, 75. And third thing is that, what is the percentage of commodities in a product? You have a Starbucks coffee, it costs you $5. The coffee is 5 cents. So what is important in these countries is service economy. Japan is the one who's printed, they own 40% of the corporate debt market. They have printed the most money in the world, but there's no sign of inflation in Japan. Why? Because of demographics. So it's my personal opinion, I deserve to be right, I deserve to be wrong. I mean that inflation is a transitory phase and it'll come back to that 1.5–2% levels in America and in the rest of the world.
I mean, the bigger question I think is PSUs. They've come back a little bit this year, but as an investor, as a long-term investor, do you generally stay away from PSUs because of all
I'm
the regulatory?
extremely bullish on PSU banks. And the other industries also, I would go script-wise. And somewhere the valuations are ridiculous even today. I mean, you have companies who are valuing at 2 times EBITDA, 3 times EBITDA. That can't be valuations here.
And you own some of these PSU banks. Canara Bank, for example, extremely bullish on. For banks, PSU banks, is it just a valuation argument, or you think there is actually a big change which is coming about?
Both. The change is coming and the valuations will change. As the change comes, the valuations will change. The valuations will follow the change won't follow the valuation.
But the change in terms of change of ownership, or?
First of all, they are very well provided. Right? Canara Bank has the same book size as ICICI. And look at ICICI market cap and Canara Bank's market cap to 40,000 crores. I think ICICI Bank is in lakhs of crores. And no, it's more than that. And the same book size. And also the private sector banks, their cost-income ratios are very low. In the public sector banks, as they expand and they get efficient, even their cost-income ratios will come down. I'm extremely bullish on public sector, selectively.
Okay, so bullish on public sector banks. Since we're talking about themes, over the next 5 to maybe 2 to 5 years, what do you think the biggest theme in India could be?
I'm also searching. I'll call you when I tell you.
Now, since you are bullish on, the demographics, consumer
I don't look at themes. I look at companies.
Do you think that technology-related changes across industries pose a risk to sectors?
In some industries, maybe books, music, they pose a... see what happens when the incumbent has got cash flows and he has got time. He also has the ability to change. And second thing is, certain things are not going to change. You can't drink on the internet. Right? There's no replacement for whiskey. So it depends industry to industry.
Right. So,
but I'm not... I think we are getting too excited about change, predicting too much of it too fast, and valuing it like I mean, we are valuing iron at the price of diamond.
I'm so glad you brought that up. These new age tech companies that are coming up now, whether it's Nykaa or Paytm or Policy Bazaar, even the listed players, Zomato, Nazara Tech, of course, you had that stake. But what is your view on how these may play out?
I mean, I don't say 1 or 2 of them will become superstars, but the strike rate will be low, and I have no interest. Suppose something is elevated at valuation. At these valuations, any of the companies are going to be good, I'm not going to invest. So I wouldn't like to comment on investment in individual companies, but by the sheer valuation, I don't have any interest in this. And second thing is, but I love and I respect the dedication, the speed with which the new age companies are working.
So these companies, the new ones which are coming, you're saying that you've given it a look, but the valuations are too expensive.
Yeah, but when valuation of one is expensive, everyone is in the same cart. I mean, why waste your time?
But average retail investors also feel like they're sort of missing the bus, right? I mean, if this is the future, if people are going to be spending more on the internet...
But you don't have to go to every party in town. The hangover is after 2 days. I mean, people are missing, let them join. I'm not saying they don't join. I don't want to join.
You said that existing companies are also adapting much faster. Can you just talk about that? I mean, across companies that you're seeing.
What is it in banking you cannot do in HDFC that you can do in any fintech?
I mean, for example, there's a big argument being made with the Paytm IPO which is coming.
Yeah, so why cannot the other banks also become collection agents? And don't remember one thing, the biggest source of finance and the biggest oil in the furnace of the finance industry is deposits. Who's collecting deposits? Or do you lend without deposits? So how can you beat that deposit collection mechanism of banks?
So you're saying these are institutions?
In America, I think the fintech disbursals have been a disaster. In HDFC Bank, you can get a home loan in 3 hours.
Rakesh, coming back to the markets, you were talking about, how perhaps a very short-term correction that this market could see. What, according to you, is the biggest risk? And we all know every market has risks, right? What is the biggest risk to this market up move?
I would say the present government should win power because a reform will take place. And then there are, all the forced majorities. There can be natural disasters, there can be war, right? I don't see any risk. I think India is at a stage where nothing can stop it. Apna time aayega nahi, apna time aa gaya hai.
We've suddenly seen a big boom in the real estate market.
You have seen nothing, madam.
That was my question to you. Is this just the start of an upcycle?
If India is going, I think India will grow double digit this year, 8% next year, maybe 8-9% the year after. And in my personal opinion, I think India will grow 10% in the next 20 years.
Just on that point, what Sonia was asking, real estate. Do you think that we are at the early stages of a long cycle?
Absolutely. But this time, what will happen? The increase in speculative prices will not be so fast. It will be steady. See, the speculative part will come when people buy houses and offices for investment rather than for usage. At this moment, you have only actual user demand. And very big factor is the reduction in interest rates. Because at 11%, for 1 lakh, I pay about 1100 rupees a month. At 1 lakh, for 6.5%, I pay 750 a month. So it becomes so much affordable.
Okay, bullish on real estate. The other space that, of course, now you have a keen interest in is aviation. With the Tatas sort of taking over Air India, Indigo has a major chunk, and now the Tatas have 1/4 of the skies. Where does Akasa fit in? I mean, it's in any case a very competitive environment, loss-making for years.
We'll be a David with the Goliath. What is there? Ma'am, I'm legally bound not to say anything about the airlines.
Sure, I got that. But just for the sector as a whole, it is still a loss-making
I'm very bullish
space.
on the sector. I think the growth in aviation in India is going to surprise people, and the pricing is the lowest in the world. And in any industry where the pricing is not feasible, everybody will close down or prices have to go up.
But from an industry standpoint, there's still a lot of issues, right? ATF prices, for etc. Companies continue to be loss-making. You think there will be any relief on that front?
We will try to be different.
Can you give us a sneak peek? How different? I mean, in what way?
We are prepared for failure.
Okay.
Because globally, the industry has been loss-making, right? It's not just India.
Why? Southwest is profit from day one. Ryanair is they never incurred a loss except in the COVID. Ryanair has been profit from day one. So why do you generalize?
A few and far between. Largely, it is loss-making.
So few and far between meant to the stock market for 5,000 rupees and earn wealth here.
Sorry, you said prepared?
See, it's better to die. It's better to try and fail rather than not to try and fail. I'm ready for failure. In my personal opinion, we will succeed. Right. And I can always be wrong.
What about cryptocurrencies? And that's the latest fad right now.
Don't waste my time.
Rakesh, the other big sort of,
it's worse than the Mahalakshmi race course. I and Rekha go to eat dinner. We have a budget of 100 cryptos. We order for 100 cryptos. By the time the bill comes, they say, no, it's worth only 80 cryptos. How do I get the crypto? Give Rekha's left bangle?
But people are making money in this market.
Well, good luck to them. Good luck to them.
Is there any reason why you've stayed away? Because you don't understand it, or because you don't like
Currency
it?
is a store of value or a medium of exchange. It cannot be a store of value. And medium of exchange, if the dollar moves by 1%, it's world news. Here it moves by 1% a minute here. And which sovereign will give up his right to issue currency? China has already banned it, other countries will ban it. What they will do is they'll come with digital currencies.
The central bank digital currencies. Right. Rakesh, the last time we spoke, you sounded extremely bullish about the steel space. Tata Steel was something you mentioned.
I'm extremely bullish on the metal space still, period.
But steel specifically or across the board? I mean,
Metals. I don't know what metal includes.
non-steel, aluminum, copper.
Metal includes everything.
You think this whole electric vehicle theme is something that will pick up?
It will. Because it's much costlier. It's much cheaper. It costs you, say, 100 rupees of petrol to come from Vashi to Bombay. It costs you 12 rupees in electric cars. And as the time is progressing and volumes are going up, the cost of electric cars are coming down. And incumbent who has got distribution, let's say Ford or Tata Motors, they got distribution. So the same distribution, they can push the electric cars. Otherwise, setting up distribution is a big problem.
And now, actually, electric cars are still using thermal energy, but there will come a time when they'll switch to solar energy. So in that context, do you think this whole solar theme is becoming big? I mean, Reliance in what, between August and October has acquired, stake in 4 companies for solar. You think this is the big theme?
I think first, the biggest reduction in fossil fuel consumption will come in cars. Right? And it's a very simple car. There are not many parts. The pickup is very good. And then slowly over a period of time, change will come. But environment now is a concern of every citizen. It's not a choice of the government, especially in the developed world.
Got it. Rakesh, just a market question, just to sort of digress a little bit. You know, with all these new investors in, they have enough information about, right or wrong, about what to buy, when to buy, why, etc., etc. I want to ask you a question. How do you decide when to sell? You know, do you sell when?
I want to sell if I want to reduce leverage. I have another investment opportunity. Or I feel the price is too exorbitant. I mean, if you discount 10 years, 10 years, 12 years later, then we should sell. And I want to sell companies, you know, on whom the valuation is based very high on expectations.
Rakesh, since it's Diwali and, you know, I mean, there's festivities all around, this year is much better than the last. What is your, you know, what's your view on how we will be next Diwali? Will we be much higher than here? Will the situation be very different?
We will be higher, right? And how much, I can't say. But you will have 1 year's earnings added, no? And you know, corporate profit to GDP was 3% in 2000, was 8% in 2007-8. In 2019-20, it was 3%. Now I see this 3 going to 8. So imagine what kind of profit growth has to come. This 8 figure has to be reached by 2027, 2028.
Oh, we have something actually that we've planned on a slightly lighter note. It's rapid fire, but we have called it Would You Rather. So we'll give you 2 choices and you have to pick one choice and you tell us why you've picked that choice. So let me start with the first one, easy one. Would you rather own TCS, which is a stable stock, or IRCTC, which is a momentum boy?
Absolutely TCS.
Okay. Would you rather invest in Bitcoin or in a startup?
None.
Would you have more time or more money?
I have to draw a balance. Money is nothing without time, and time is nothing without money.
You have to pick one, either more time or more money.
In my present circumstances today, time.
Because you have all the money.
Yeah. I have more than I need.
Would you rather invest in Nykaa or in Paytm?
None. Next.
Okay. Would you die early and rich or rather live longer but poor?
I don't mind. I will live longer even if I'm poor.
The last one is interesting. Would you rather be Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg?
None.
None?
You'd rather be
have a
I don't like them as humans.
So who would you rather be if you were not Rakesh Jhunjhunwala?
Well, that's a pretty Winston Churchill.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, most jovial leader. I mean, should drink like in 12 in the morning. He used to smoke 8 cigars.
By the way, what was the best thing about your meeting with Prime Minister Modi?
Best thing was his humility and his keenness to hear and the respect he gave to us.
Right, Rakesh, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much once again for humoring us, and we hope you have the best health and the best wealth till we meet again next year.
I have the first wish, second is okay. Even it goes down, makes no difference.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. Thank you.